We'll start in mountain pose. So we'll just come to a tall standing position near the top of your mat. I'd like to begin our practice here. And you might stand with your feet about hip distance apart, with your toes pointing forward, even just for a few moments. If you feel like you need to change that posturing, that's perfectly fine. If you need to step outward a little bit, even turn your feet outward to feel more comfortable in your hips or knees or ankles, go ahead and do that. Just be sure you're feeling nice and tall and proud, feeling balanced on your own 2 feet. Take a moment and just feel the earth, feel the ground underneath you. You might even take a moment to grip the mat with your toes, just to feel the texture of the mat. And once you feel this rooted connection to the earth, connect to your breath. Have an awareness of your breathing. At the moment, not needing to do anything special or different with your breath, just the awareness that you are breathing. Tune in a little more. And breathe a little slower, deeper, even a little louder. Good. And as you take these next few breaths, just feel expansive. Even imagine that you're a balloon that you're filling up. So a nice, full, rich inhale, filling up your lungs, the upper region of your torso, but also feel the belly expand. Exhale, and just feel that contraction, or what I would like to say, that hug, that internal hug, moving inward. Again, another inflation of the balloon, expanding, now perhaps breathing into your upper back body and lower back body. Full breaths, complete breaths, exhaling to completion. Hugging in toward your midline, your center. Maybe just one more expansive breath like this. Good, really filling yourself up. Good. And then just continue with gentler breaths if you'd like. But keep this connection with your breath. We'll use the next 3 breaths to bring energy to the body, preparing your body to move. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms out and up, reaching beyond the ceiling. And exhale, we'll slowly fold forward, so hinge at the hips, bend your knees as much as you need to, and just carefully make your way down. You might touch your toes, but you don't have to touch your toes. Then inhale and slide your hands up your legs a little bit to extend your spine to a long, flat back like you were a table. And exhale and fold. Again, a partial fold is just fine. Your hands might land at your shins or ankles, or you might bend your knees a little bit more so you can touch your toes or the floor. We're going to hold here for a few more breaths and just notice this sensation, what's happening in your body in this intense forward fold, Uttanasana. You can hold in stillness here or add movement. That might be a circle of the shoulders. Nod your head yes, gently shake your head no. Even yawn, opening your mouth wide. We hold tension in our jaws, our mouths, our necks. Just release. And then just shift your weight forward a tiny bit towards your toes. And just notice how the backs of your legs engage to help hold you up. Take 2 more breaths here. You might even feel a stretch sensation down through the whole backside of your legs.
Now shifting your weight back into your heels, less weight in the toes. Bend your knees, feel like you're about to sit down into a low chair. Look forward. Then extend your arms out to the side. Then inhale and stand up all the way. There we go. Reaching for the sky. With the exhale, you can bring your hands down to heart center or arms down by your side, either one. Just hold for a breath. That's our half salute to the sun. We'll just go through that one more time. Just making it flow, going at your own pace. Inhale, reaching into the air. Good extension, expansion. Exhale, swan dive forward. Again, a good hinge from hips. Bend your knees, make your way down. A complete release here at the end. And inhale, slide your hands up the legs a bit to extend your spine, leading through the crown of your head. Exhale, we'll fold. Another complete release, just a brief one. Our weight shift into the heels, bend your knees, look forward, spread your wings, and float all the way up with an inhale, reaching to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart or arms down by your side. And again, we'll just pause here. A few breaths. And just as a reminder as we get into our practice that this is your practice. Move as you need to, modify, rest anytime you need to. Let's continue. Inhale, reaching into the air. You might even tip your chin up to look up past your fingertips. Exhale, leading with your heart, fold forward, bending your knees all the way down. Inhale, a nice spinal extension, a long flat back. Now on this exhale, bend your knees a whole lot. Let your back round. Bring your hands to the floor in front of your feet and walk or step or even hop both feet back to the back end of your mat until you're in plank pose, a high push-up position. You can always bring knees to the floor if you need to for this pose. Breathe in. When you exhale, bend your knees a little, then send your hips up into the air as if they're floating towards the sky, moving right into your downward facing dog. Make any adjustments with your feet, even your hands, so you feel like you're settling into the pose. You've arrived in the posture. You're welcome just to hold the position or move if you'd like. A little bend of the knees, pedal the feet, let your hips shift side to side. Nice. Let's take a nice expansive breath. Inhale, breathing into your lungs. Exhale, connecting to your core center. Bend your knees to walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat. Return to your forward fold. Inhale, lengthening through your spine. A little weight shift towards your toes. Feel like you're coming forward. Exhale and fold. Right back down we go. Weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way up, reaching high. We're going to keep this moving. On the exhale, just take chair pose or Utkatasana, chair-like position. The weight shift back into the hips and heels. Outstretched arms. Let's breathe in. And exhale, diving out of your seat, back down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, long spine, lifting halfway up. Exhale, folding all the way down we go. Plant the hands, walk, step, or jump both feet back. Plank pose, hold for a moment. As before, you can just move right into downward facing dog. Take that shortcut. Or with the exhale, bend your elbows to lower your way down to Chaturanga Dandasana. You can bring your knees to the floor first, then the chest. Find a back bend. It might be a low cobra or an upward facing dog or something in between. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift the knees, and again your hips just float right up into the air. Make your adjustments with your feet and hands. Arriving in the posture, take a breath. Now inhale and extend right leg up, reaching back. Nice. Exhale. Step right foot to the top of the mat, our first lunge. Once you've landed, you'll turn your left heel to the floor behind you, shifting the weight back so you find your center, hands are light. So you can easily inhale, hinge from hips, rising up, reaching to the air, first warrior. Exhale, hinge and fold, make our way back down to the ground. Plant the hands, slide the right foot back to meet the other. Again, a shortcut to down dog or finishing the push-up, Chaturanga Dandasana, any style. Inhale, up dog or cobra pose. Wonderful. And exhale, downward facing dog. Arrive in your posture. Now an inhale to extend the left leg into the air, reaching up and back, finding the wall. Exhale, stepping through, left foot to the top of the mat. Even if you have to pick up the foot to place it there, fine. Right heel to the floor behind you, shifting weight back.
Hands are light, hinge from hips. Inhale, rising up, first warrior. Exhale, hinge, fold, make our way back down, plant the hands, slide left foot back, finishing the sequence as you'd like. Any variation, just movement with breath. And we'll meet together in downward facing dog. We're going to go through that lunge sequence again, slightly different. We're going to inhale, extend right leg up, hold it there. Now keep pressing into the floor strongly with the hands, pressing a little bit more towards your thumbs and index fingers, energy in your inner arms, reaching up and back with that right foot. Now as you're able, press the left heel down towards the floor. It may not touch the floor, that's okay, but you'll feel a stretch. Now rise up onto the tiptoes, or just lifting the heel so you lift a little higher. With the exhale, step right foot to the top of the mat. Here we're going to go to a high lunge, which means we're going to shift the weight back. All 10 toes are still pointing forward. That back heel is lifted. Once you're ready, go ahead and inhale and rise up to our high lunge. We'll hold here for a moment. The energy here is reaching high and lunging low, with that hugging to center line. So imagine the legs were together and you're squeezing or holding onto a block between the knees. So hug in so you're strong in your legs. Take a breath in. When exhale, just pivot left heel to the floor, opening up to the left side of the room for your warrior 2 position. Yeah, you might need to adjust your feet. Again, arriving in your posture, nice. And then side angle pose, just follow your right arm forward, angle the upper half of the body, rotate the arms, perfect. Yeah, so your right arm could be straight, it might be on the inner leg, you might be low enough to touch the ground, these are some options. Or you might be higher up where your right arm is bent and resting lightly on the thigh, or even your hand, okay? Couple more breaths, just a nice opening for this whole front body. Maybe another one of those expansive breaths. We did a mountain pose. Getting ready to move, we'll breathe in. And exhale, we'll turn, fold, bring the hands down to the floor. And just step all the way back to down dog. Just step the right foot back, hips in the air. Just return to down dog, another style of a shortcut. Now the other side, an inhale to extend left leg into the sky. Hold on the exhale and just feel the body get a little bit longer. Pressing firmly into the earth with the hands, strong arms, yes. Lifted left leg is reaching back behind you. Now the right heel, as you're able, is pressing down towards the floor. Again, it doesn't have to touch the ground. It might, but it doesn't have to. But notice what happens in the back of the leg. And then rise up onto your tiptoes or lift the heel. Breathe in. And your exhale, stepping left foot to the top of the mat for a high lunge on this side. Shifting the weight back. Yes, that right heel is lifted, all 10 toes pointing forward. Hinge from hips, rising up, reaching into the air. Good. Yeah, this does take some balance. That's why you want to perhaps hug to center line. That's not only the legs. Imagine the block between the knees, so a little squeeze. It's belly. So engage the abdominal lock, and even imagine you're holding on to something perhaps between the hands. Yes. We'll breathe in, and the exhale will open up to the right side of the room. Pivot right heel to the floor, settling into your second warrior. Good. Nice foot adjustment for balance, security, power, and strength. Our side angle pose, follow the left arm forward, nice angled upper body. Yes, rotate the arms, reach high and low. Again, those same options as far as how low you go or how high you stay. Left arm could be straight or bent. Even the left hand, if you're high enough, the left hand can even rest on the left thigh. But as you're holding the pose, wherever you happen to be, breathe in and out deeply, opening, expanding. You're ready to flow, breathing in first. And our exhale, yes, we'll turn and fold, hands back down to the floor, and just step all the way back to down dog. Step back, hips in the sky, right here. I'm going to gently bring the knees down to the floor. Sit back briefly in hero pose. We're actually going to take a seat. Just sit off to the side here, swing the legs around to the front. Go ahead and roll down onto your back. And draw knees into chest. It's going to work our way to our back bend. But first, just a little hug. Add movement here, a little massage for your back. When you're ready, just set your feet on the floor. Now your feet and knees can be hip distance apart, but certainly welcome to take them wider. For me, I like to take my feet wider, just more space for me in my low back and hips. Breathe in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, empty the belly, feel that engagement, and then lift the hips into the sky. And you can continue to make adjustments with the feet if you need to. Even your arms, if you're able, get your arms and shoulders a bit underneath you if you're able. Arms can stay flat and long on the floor, or you can assist yourself by using your hands to help lift yourself up. If a block is nearby, you can grab a block or two and set them underneath you to sit on, okay, just to help stabilize and support the back bend. And again, those expansive breaths, mostly breathing into the front body, filling up the lungs, right up to the collarbones. 2 more breaths. Good. To come out of the pose, first we'll wiggle the feet forward a little bit, extend your arms straight up into the air, and then roll your way back down. Go ahead and extend the body, extend the legs out front, maybe point your toes and reach towards the front of the room while your arms reach behind you. We're going to stay on the floor for a moment, but go ahead and hug your knees into chest once again. And you're going to extend the legs straight up into the air. We'll do a few things here. You can actually hold onto the legs, and the legs can stay very bent if you need to bend the knees, but hold onto the legs with your hands and maybe take them a little wider or much wider, just kind of opening. Okay, so you feel a stretch in the inner legs and just hold onto the legs here. And then with the feet, a few things. Flex the feet so you're pushing towards the ceiling through the heels and then through the balls of the feet, and then point your toes. And go through that 2 more times. Heels, press. Kind of roll through to the balls of the feet, and then point your toes. 1 more time. Flex, roll, point. Okay, you can soften the feet, bring the legs together, bend the knees, another hug. Start to rock forward and back. We're going to rise up to seated, but if it feels better for you to roll to one side and press yourself up to seated, that's fine. Let's come to boat pose here. Any style of boat works nicely. Generally, we're here with feet lifted, knees can be bent, you can hold onto the legs for the duration, or you can free up the hands, you can extend the legs, even point the toes. You can even do that same flex, roll through the balls of the feet, point toes if you want. Okay? You can even bring feet to the floor, or heels to the floor, and be in this posture. Wherever you are, nice full breath in, lengthening through the spine, filling up the lungs, exhaling to engage. You can breathe out through the mouth if you'd like. 2 more breaths. We'll take a third inhale, ready to move. And the exhale, if you're able, cross legs. If you can, hands in front of the cross legs to hop back into plank pose, or just hands to the side. Yeah, just swing the feet back, step back until you're in plank pose. Strong straight line. You can take a shortcut to down dog or go through the vinyasa, going down to chaturanga dandasana, into your back bend, and we'll all arrive in downward facing. We'll breathe in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale, extend through spine, monkey pose, I'll call it. Exhale, fold. Our weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up, reaching high. And this exhale, you can bring your arms to your side. Good. You can just shake out the shoulders if you like. Yeah, head and neck. Just down the body, elbows, wrists. A lot of work on our hands. So you may just want to circle the wrists, wiggle your fingers, check in with your hips, your knees, ankles and feet and toes. Yeah, just releasing any tension. Whenever you're ready, we'll just arrive back in our mountain pose and just continue our flow. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, leading with heart, fold forward.
Inhale, lengthening halfway. Exhale, fold, bend, hands to the floor, hop or step back, plank pose, come down if you like, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to your back bend, and exhale, downward facing dog. Nice, and inhale to extend right leg up. We're going to do that same sequence here. Hold, left heel will press towards the floor, feel the stretch. Rise up onto tiptoes, get higher up. Inhale right there. Yes, exhale, then step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. High lunge, high lunge. So toes, heel is lifted behind you, rising up. There it is. Reach high, lunge low, hug to center. If you happen to be deep in this lunge, which I'm going to demonstrate, if you happen to be kind of low like this, we're going to get kind of stuck or locked into the hips, which makes it a little bit hard to kind of open up to Warrior Two. So what you may want to do is inhale, lift up to unlock the hips, pivot, then open. Okay, so we're in Warrior Two, but we're going to set this up for triangle. So straighten your right leg. Now, if there's too much space between the feet, okay, you can bring the feet much closer together if you'd like. So straight legs, long torso, outstretched arms, you've got it. And reaching out past that right leg. Tipping it over, triangle pose. Perfect, yeah, so the right hand might be resting somewhere on the leg. If you're low enough, maybe there's a block that you can use as your floor. Maybe you can touch the ground. Two more breaths. Now to come out of this pose, we're going to bend the right knee, so we're in a nice deep lunge. Come up, passing through a Warrior Two to reverse the warrior. Right hand reaching into the air. It might be straight up. It might be slightly behind you for a side bend or a mimicked back bend. I need to support my back and hip. And I do that by placing my left hand on my hip. I'm pushing down, like I'm sending the pelvis down the leg, but also pushing forward, kind of towards the right knee to help stabilize the pelvis. And that supports my back, so I can take this back a little deeper. Okay, and then a big windmill. Bring the arms around, hands down to the floor in front. Back to a plank pose. Strong straight line to realign. Finishing the sequence as you'd like. The shortcut to down dog or any variation of a flow. So you arrive in down dog. Whenever you're ready, an inhale to extend left leg into the air, reach and hold. Your right heel will press towards the floor. Notice the lengthening. Rise up onto tiptoes, lifted heel, inhale. And exhale, left foot stepping through, top of the mat, high lunge, right heel stays lifted. Yeah, take your time. Finding your center, hinge from hips, rising up. Once you're tall, reach high, lunge low. Hug to center, yes. Okay, you might even feel that you're getting into the right hip flexor. Okay, even if you're up high, you can still feel that nice lengthening down through that back leg. If you happen to be low and kind of locked in the hips, we're going to inhale to lift, pivot right heel to the floor, opening up to Warrior Two, and then we'll set it up for triangle. So straighten the left leg, shorten the distance between the feet if you need to. Then we'll travel outward, past the left leg, rotate the body. Reach high and low. Nice. Deep breaths. There it is. Ready to come out of the pose. Again, we'll bend the left knee to a nice deep lunge, giving us leverage so we can come up to our Warrior Two, passing through it to reverse the warrior. Left hand reaching straight up. Might even be reaching forward a little bit, or behind you for the side bend / back bend, providing the support that you need. Expanding, opening, lengthening. And here comes our big windmill. Bring the hands all the way around and down to the floor in front. We'll step back, plank pose. Feel the realignment of the body here. Choosing your vinyasa to get to downward facing dog.
come back to the earth, so kneel down. We're going to take a seat. Swing the legs around to the front. Here you might want to use your strap. We're going to do a seated forward fold. Here, you're welcome to use your strap. So with feet flexed, you might wrap the strap around the bottoms of the feet, holding onto the strap. With bent elbows, just kind of relax here, relax shoulders, elbows just kind of down by your ribs. Strap is obviously an option. We are going to fold before we go. If you're not using the strap, you can take the arms up and fold, okay? If you are using the strap, we're just going to inhale, a little tug of the strap to help sit up a little taller, yeah? Exhale, pull belly in, a little tug of the strap, hinge forward slightly, sending heart out towards your toes. Maybe just hold for a moment so you can keep the legs straight, spine straight for a moment. So maybe you didn't go very far, because I didn't. Taking the deep breath so the body gets used to this new sensation. And if you'd like, maybe going a little deeper, but feel free at any time now to bend your knees a little or a lot. You can even tip the chin down, let your back round. It provides a lot more space, actually, so you could fold deeper. Adjusting your hands on your strap, or even releasing the strap and just holding onto the legs or feet. Paschimottanasana, or seated forward fold. We are going to hold this for a bit. So with any pose that has some level of intensity, and if you're going to be holding it, just take the time that you need, meaning maybe you can hold this for the whole duration of the pose, or if you feel like your body is starting to react to being here, or you're feeling a little stressed or overwhelmed because of the sensations, feel free to start to soften the body, soften the pose, or even start to back out of the pose. You can certainly go the other direction. If you feel like you've made space and it feels good and you feel good, maybe you can take it a tiny step further. And again, wherever you are, just breathing deeply. Nice. We'll take 3 more breaths here. If you're holding on to the strap, just release the strap. Let's all just reach forward with the hands. Inhale as you're able, hinge from hips, or even roll your way back up. Nice and tall, reaching into the air. Good. Exhale, just bring the hands down by your side. Just come to a staff pose. So your hands just come down to the floor by your hips. Push into the floor to continue that assist of that spinal extension. Straight legs, flex the feet, feel the heels push forward. Staff pose, hold that for a moment. Okay, just relax. We're going to open the legs again here in seated. They don't have to go too wide. They can keep them kind of narrow. If you want to go wide, you can certainly go wide here. You can use the strap for this if you'd like. We're going to be going to the left leg first. So here's what we're going to do. So the left hand, you can either hold on to the strap if you're going to use the strap, like so, okay? Or just hand out onto the shin, or maybe right out to the toes if you can reach. Still sitting up nice and tall. We're going to extend the right arm out to the right side. Inhale, take it straight up to 12 o'clock. Exhale here. Inhale, reach up a little higher. And exhale, we're just going to tip over towards that left foot. You don't need to go too far. Just enough so you get a kind of a side bend. Now this right arm that's in the air might be straight, but sometimes that arm and shoulder can get a little tired. So you can always bend the elbow, or even bring the hand behind the head. Just 3 more breaths.
After the third breath, we'll just inhale, re-extend the right arm out and up into the air as you now rise up, nice and tall, right arm out to the right side of the room, and then down by your side. If you're using the strap, we'll release and take it over to the other leg there. Sitting up as tall as can be. Whenever you're ready, left arm extends out. Inhale right up to 12 o'clock. Exhale. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, we'll tip. Holding onto the strap, or maybe you can reach the foot, or maybe the hands just resting on the shin or ankle. Again, the left arm may be straight. You can bend the elbow or left hand behind the head. Nice deep breathing, noticing the sensations in the body. 3 more breaths. We'll re-extend this left arm, taking it up into the air, lifting you up. Left hand to the left side of the room, nice and tall. Arms release. Release the strap. We're going to be coming back to this pose, but for the moment, let's relax the hamstrings. Bring the feet together, soles of the feet together here for cobbler's pose or bound angle. So you can hold on to the feet, might be your toes, your ankles, or shins. Sit up tall. Feel free to fold here too. Dropping the chin, rounding the spine, so you can feel a little stretch in the back. There's another opportunity to take another one of those expansive breaths. If you happen to be folding forward, see if you can fill up the back body. Three more breaths. If the back is rounded, feel free to roll your way back up until you're seated, or extend the spine, hinge your way back up into your tall seat. We're going to re-extend the legs, okay, out to the side and an angle there. Flex the feet here, and even bring the hands behind you. Here, just pressing into the floor, getting tall, just like in staff pose, nice and tall here. Now we're going to, as we inhale, of course, we're getting longer in the spine. As we exhale, a little, maybe push from behind, sending your heart and chin forward just a little bit. Okay? So we're going to check in with what's happening with the legs. As best as we can, we're going to keep the feet flexed and legs straight. If you need to bend the knees, perfectly fine. But what we're going to add here, as you're folding forward, hinging at the hips, torso coming forward, you're going to outwardly spiral the legs, okay, from right at the hip joint there, rotating the legs backward. So it feels like your toes are starting to point to the back of the room. If you get a little lower, you can always bring one hand in front to help support you, okay? And one hand in back, or if you're going much lower, both hands can be in front. Okay? But mainly just feeling the extension of the legs and that outer spiral as you're folding forward. And again, it really doesn't matter how far forward you fold. And making sure that rotation is happening at the very top of the leg. 3 more breaths here. Remember this outward spiral. This is going to come in handy in one of our other poses coming up. Okay, use your hand, if their hands are in front, just press and lift yourself back up, nice and tall. Let's go back to cobbler's pose for a moment just to get that stretch out of the legs. Nice and tall, hinge forward. Not too long here, just to get that stretch out. Relax the back. Perhaps just 2 more breaths here. Again, rolling up or extend the spine and hinge your way back up nice and tall. We're going to keep this moving with a straight spine, start to lean back.
As you're able, bring the knees together. As you continue leaning back, the feet might float into the air. Return to your boat pose. Hold on to the legs so you can lift and lengthen. We're going to move right away, breathing in. And the exhale, cross legs, hands in front or out to the side. Swing or step the feet back or hop back, plank pose. If you like, come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Exhale, walk, step or hop up to the top of the mat, stay on your feet. Inhale, extend spine with a fold. Okay, hold your forward fold. And kind of like what we did earlier in the practice, just lean forward or shift your weight forward towards toes. Feeling the toes perhaps grip the mat. Hands are in front to support you. But notice what's happening in the legs as you lean forward. Maybe a stretch in the upper hamstring area and lower glutes. One more breath. Okay, and then shift weight back into the heels, bend your knees like you're sitting, extend the spine, extend your arms out to the side, standing tall. Reach up, you might even pause here at the top. Good reach, a little extra reach. Inhale again, and exhale, arms to your side. Good, again, shake all that out. All righty. Okay, next pose will be a standing split, and you're welcome to use the blocks here, maybe at the top of the mat, in front of your mat. We're just going to do a variation of standing splits. Standing splits, you would actually free the hands. They'd be off the floor, but we're going to use the floor or the blocks. Go ahead and follow me here and just do your best. We're going to inhale, reach into the sky. Exhale, swan dive. Just all the way down towards toes. Forward fold there. Inhale, slide the hands up the legs, and you see your blocks. You're going to exhale and fold, and just place your hands on your blocks. You can turn them up high like I have mine. Kind of lean into the blocks so you feel secure here. Keep a good softness or bend in the knees. Start shifting your weight over into your right foot. Root strongly into the floor with the right foot. Feel the energy in the legs. You can pick up the left foot and extend the left leg straight back behind you. Adjust the blocks as you need to. We're just going to get a little longer. Reach longer through that left leg, and as you're able, extend through the spine. Now the right knee, the leg you're standing on, that knee can stay bent. Inhale, longer still. Exhale, you're going to tip the scale, meaning you're going to maybe lift the left leg and lower the chest. You can stay up as high as you need to. The blocks just use as kind of little walking sticks to support you in our variation of standing splits. Yes. The leg that's in the air, that left leg, bend the left knee a whole lot. Bring the knee in towards your chin or chest. Let the back round like you're doing cat pose. And then set the left foot onto the floor next to the other. Okay, slide the hands up to the shins, extending the spine. Let's just go right away to the other side. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands down to the blocks again. Turn them up high if you need to. Softness in the knees. Shift weight into your left foot. Root. Feel strong there. Even a good core connection so you can pick up the right foot and extend the right leg back. Then start to get longer, reaching more through your right set of toes. Extend through the spine, through the crown of your head. Inhale again. Exhale, tip your scale. Heart goes down, right leg goes up. There we go. Let's bend the right knee. Bring the knee in towards chest, rounding the spine. There's our cat-like pose. Set the foot down next to the other. Plant the feet so you feel balanced and centered. Hands on your shins. Inhale and slide up the legs a little bit, halfway up. Exhale, fold. We're going to stand up. Weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come up, reach into the air. You can hold this for a little extra long. Do a little stretch. Nice. That little side bend. Inhale, reach high, and exhale, arms to your side. Shaking that out. Okay. Before I forget, because I will, get your blocks, take them to the back end of your mat. Okay? On opposite sides there. Hopefully they won't get in the way. Okay? Right there. Now let me quickly show you. We're going to use the wall now as our next prop, and I'll show you what we're going to do. I'm going to do my left leg because it's not as flexible. So I'm going to place my left foot underneath my strap here, like so, my right side against the wall. So we'll choose a wall in a moment. And the wall is just there to help you balance. Just going to be basically standing on one foot, but soft knees, little weight shift into my right foot, got the wall, it's got me up. Like a marionette puppet, we'll bend the left knee, lifting the foot. We'll extend the leg forward. Okay? Just pushing through the heel. Don't worry if it's parallel to the floor. It doesn't have to. Just strong, straight line. Because what you want to try to maintain is a straight upper back or upper body, like you're up against a wall rather than leaning back. So don't worry about trying to get this high, because if you lift it, you might tip back. So but just straight as can be. And then we're going to take it out to the side. Now as we take it out to the side, this is where that outer rotation is going to come into place. There. Because as we rotate the legs, it gets the pelvis to tuck under, so you can stay nice and tall here. And again, just continue to use the wall. Let's see if I can do this freestanding. Because we want to be aware if you're tipping this way. Okay? We want to try to get as tall as can be, which means we can lower the leg and just outwardly rotate. It gets everything tucked underneath. And we got the wall right there. Okay? All right, so grab your strap, grab some wall. I think we've got plenty of space around there. Okay, and we'll do, let's see, we'll have left side, your left side nearest the wall, so we'll start with the right foot in the strap. Okay. Using the wall with the left hand as needed, but we'll start in mountain pose. So balanced on 2 feet, soften the knees, put some weight into the left foot, core connection, nice and tall. Marionette puppet, just bend the right knee, lifting the foot, yes. Then extend the leg forward. Yep. Okay. Just holding there for a moment, so straight out in front of you. And again, doesn't need to be parallel to the floor. It might be, doesn't need to be. But straight as can be, pushing through the heel, but a straight leg, even if it's at an angle. Alrighty. Now we're going to start to slowly take that right leg out to the right side with that outer rotation. Okay, use the wall, but do your best to still stand nice and tall. Be aware if you're leaning into the wall or towards the wall. Nice and tall, yes. Okay, and again, it's okay to lower the leg so you can really get that pelvic tuck underneath so you can still feel quite tall there. Yeah, lengthen the spine, take your gaze forward like you're standing in mountain pose perhaps. There it is. 2 more breaths, you've got it. Yeah, you can even play with releasing from the wall. All right, bring the leg forward, bend the knee, and we'll set the foot down. Good. You can turn around and we'll switch sides. Same thing, starting in mountain pose, the straps in place. Use the wall as needed. Mountain pose, start shifting weight into your right foot. Feel core connected there. Marionette puppet will lift the left foot, bending the knee. Extend the leg forward, kicking through the heel, straight leg. Nice and tall, lengthen the spine. Feel flush against an imaginary wall. The leg might be parallel to the floor, and of course it doesn't need to be. Let's slowly take the left leg out to the left side of the room, already starting to outwardly rotate. Are you still tall? Lower the leg if you need to. Use the wall to help you. You can even feel like you're climbing up the wall. Pull yourself up. Okay? But imagine you're standing in mountain pose. Tall as can be. Gaze forward. Okay? Neck nice and long. Now your eye line might be down low at the floor, which is nice for balancing. Very strong. Breathe in. Fill yourself up. Exhale, core connect. And then we'll come out of it. Swing the left leg forward. Let's bend the knee. Plant the foot. There's the earth. And you can return to your mat. Nice job.
Okay, done with the strap, and just make your way back to mountain pose. When you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms out and up into the air. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, monkey pose, long flat back. Exhale, fold and bend, hands to the floor, walk, step, or hop, both feet back, plank pose. Come down if you like, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment to arrive in the space. Inhale, extend right leg up, hold it there. What you're going to do is walk your hands towards your left foot. Now you can, if your blocks are nearby, bring in the blocks. We just walked our way into standing splits. Okay, so use the blocks if you need to help you extend through the torso, extending through that back leg. Make sure the left heel is on the floor, the whole foot's on the floor. Tip the scale, head down, right leg up. It's okay if that right hip opens. Set those blocks back out to the side. Walk your hands to the front of the mat. Return to your down dog. Then right foot to the top of the mat. Warrior one this time. Left heel turns to the floor. Rising up, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Right away, side angle. Reach out. Rotate the arms. Even follow the left arm over your head, reaching through your fingertips towards the front of the room for a side stretch. Breathe in. Exhale, turn, fold. Bring the hands down to the floor. We're going to sweep the right foot back and right up into the air. Return to down dog. And then return the right foot to the top of the mat now for high lunge. Left heel stays lifted. All 10 toes are forward. We're hinging. We're rising. Reach high. Lunge low, hug to center. We're going to rise up until we can straighten the legs. Pivot left heel to the floor, turn sideways, arms to parallel. We're prepped for triangle. So straighten the right leg, reach out, rotate, triangle. Here we go. Bending the right knee, a nice lunge. Leverage to come back up, passing through the warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Right hand into the air, maybe slightly behind you. Nice opening through right side. Right away, windmill. Right around down to the floor. Both hands in front. Step back, plank, come on down. Chaturanga Dandasana, or any variation of your flow. To make your way back to our down dog. When you're ready, inhale, extend left leg into the air. Reach, hold. Make sure the hands feel strong, pressing firmly into the mat. We're going to walk our way to standing splits. Walk your hands back towards right foot until the heel is on the floor. Bring in those blocks if you need them for a little height to help you extend. Get that extension, tip the scale. This is that lifted leg while you're really working the entire leg right up into the glutes, hamstring, calf, the energized foot. All right, let's remove the blocks, hands on the floor. Take your time so you can walk your way back out to down dog. And then left foot to the top of the mat, warrior one. Plant the right heel. Solid ground, rising up. Warrior two. Side angle. Rotate here. Follow the right arm overhead. Reach. Good extension. Breathing in. Or exhale. Turn. Fold. Hands to the floor. Sweep the left foot back and up into the air. Return to down dog. Left leg lifted. And left foot to the top of the mat now for high lunge. Find your center. Right heel lifted. Hinge your way up when you're ready. Hug to midline. Rise high. Lunge low. We're lifting so we can straighten the legs. Pivot right heel so we're prepped for triangle. Straight left leg, there we go, reaching out and rotate.
Ready to move, bend the left knee, lunge. Pass through your warrior two, reverse it. Reaching up, reaching back. Then our windmill. Right down to the floor. Slide left foot back. There's plank. Finish your sequence. Downward facing dog. Let's bring knees to the floor. Sit back briefly in hero. Sit off to the side. Swing the legs around to the front. Sit in the center of your mat. So you can roll down onto the back. All right, some options here for your inverted pose. You can stay flat on your back and just extend the legs straight up. You can even bring the feet to the floor. Get a block or two, lift your hips and sit on a block and then extend the legs up if you want that support. Another option is to roll into shoulder stand. You can even take some other dynamic poses if you'd like. Make your way to a headstand or even over to a wall for a handstand. To get upside down. Nice. Very energized in the legs. It also stimulates the core with the legs extended like that. Maybe some free movement with the feet. Okay, flex. Push through the balls of the feet, pointed toes, circling the feet if you'd like. Yeah, take the legs wide like you did earlier to stretch the inner legs. I like to do a little bicycle pedaling here too, like I'm pedaling a bicycle just to get into my joints. Any kind of movement, just kind of a free flow right there. Whenever you feel complete, you can always come out of the pose. Our next pose will be a hip opener. So whenever you feel complete, there's no rush. So you can choose a hip opener. So you might come back down to the earth, remove the block if you're using one, maybe a happy baby pose. That's one option. Reclining cobbler's pose. Okay, or anything else that would help stretch the inner legs a bit and the hips. Nice. Rush to complete. Your next pose will be a spinal twist. So you might hug the knees in toward your body once again. Maybe taking knees over to the left while your right arm extends to the right. Take 5 to 10 breaths on the first side of your rotation. Go at your own pace. Certainly different variations of the twist. So you might have both knees bent. One is just stacked on top of the other as you rotate. You might even have the bottom leg extended out in front of you. That's another option. You might even take eagle legs, one leg crossed over the other. Another twist might be that windshield wiper twist. If you're still on your back, your feet will be on the floor. You would just take them wide, feet wide, and then kind of drop the knees to one side then the other. So lots of variations. Again, whenever you're complete on your first side, 5 to 10 breaths, go ahead and take your second side. you feel complete with your rotations and any other movement that you'd like to add, just make your way to Shavasana or any other relaxing pose, something that feels restorative to you. You can certainly lie on your back for Shavasana, use props to help support your body. But if lying on your back is not comfortable today, feel free to lie on your side, even lie on your belly, or even come to seated. Just somewhere that feels soft, meditative. We can simply calm the mind and body. Return to the awareness of your breath. Continue to hold in stillness, but just be aware of your breath. Slow, steady breaths. Now taking 5 slow, deep breaths with the intention of bringing energy to the body, just enough so that you can find movement return to the body. Maybe acknowledging your practice full of extensions, opening the body, expanding. Expanding to find and experience your highest potential. After your 5th breath, when you found movement, carefully and slowly roll onto either side of your body. Take your time. Still moving in slow motion, guide your way up to seated. In your seat, a nice lengthened spine, sitting up tall and proud. Your arms are relaxed. Your hands can rest in your lap, or you can bring hands to heart center. And wherever you are, just taking one more full, rich breath. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste.